Hi, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. I am Pastor Wayne with Living Hope Family Church in Marana, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted to give God a push? Ever feel like He's just not moving fast enough for you or thought you would do things differently? In Hebrews 6:11 through 12, it says, "And we desire each one of you to show the same earnestness, to have the full assurance of hope until the end, so that you may not be sluggish, but imitators of those who through faith and patience inherit the promises." Sometimes I forget that along with faith, patience is often required. Faith is such an integral part of our walks as Christians. In Acts 13:38, we see the forgiveness of sins is on the basis of faith. In Acts 14:9, we see healing is available when we have the faith to be made well. And in Matthew 17:20, Jesus said, with faith like a mustard seed, we could move mountains and nothing would be impossible. However, I think especially in our American culture, we have attached an "I want it now" attitude to our faith. And we have become so accustomed to getting what we want when we want it that we try to apply that same methodology to God. Then, when what we are believing for doesn't happen instantly, we begin to question. We question whether we have enough faith. We question if it is even God's will. We may even question if God will really do what He said He would do. Even worse, we give up. Can you imagine if this was how the men in the Bible would have handled things? Abraham waited for over 25 years before he received a son. What if he said, maybe God doesn't really want me to be the father of many nations? Noah preached for 120 years before the flood, and not a single person was saved except his family. What if he began to doubt God's faithfulness? What if Joseph would have given up after his brothers sold him into slavery? Now, I know how hard it can be to have patience when waiting on the promises of God. There are many areas that I hoped God would have moved faster, but I believe God is faithful. And if God is for me, then who can be against me? I refuse to quit believing in what God has in store for me, my family, my church, and I know with patience that I will receive everything that He says that I will. I encourage you to do the same.